gravity, because it doesn't. By definition, it makes no claims at the moment regarding gravity. So get
Yo,
your facts
it's like
straight
you're so boring,
when
bro.
you do your
Like,
pseudoscience. I know. I
because what
couldn't
you
have
do
a
is you
YouTube channel.
what you do
I
is you
wouldn't
just
be
like
able to
repeat.
maintain a YouTube channel. Yeah,
Buddy,
well, the truth is boring sometimes. With
buddy,
it.
calm
The
down.
truth is boring.
Hey, buddy, I know you. I know, like, you know when LeBron crosses someone up at the top of the key and he's going in to dunk. If you
I never
tackle
watched
LeBron,
LeBron. I'm the
listen,
Bulls.
shut up, dude. If
The
you
Bulls
tackle
era.
LeBron, that doesn't mean you beat him. Okay, he still gets to shoot his free throws. He still crossed you up. He was still going to dunk on you. You can't stop what's about to happen. Okay, so in
He likes to
reality,
think he's Scottie Pippen.
if you're claiming mechanics,
I am Dennis Rodman, fool.
buddy, if you're claiming mechanics, if you're claiming laws of physics, then it will apply in all physical realms. All right. So neither one of your gravity theories even get remotely close to being applicable or viable on the quantum scale. And
nobody claims that. What are you talking about?
Nor does it work on the cosmic scale. No, the point is just saying that, oh, well, we know it doesn't work, doesn't change the fact I'm stating, which is it isn't a viable theory for physics and reality, because if it were, it would have to work on all scales. This is the funny part.
And who's that? Who says that? Dr. Witsit claims that on behalf of the scientific community, that in physics you can only have one theory of everything?
You don't want to ask him for the answers, bro. You should listen up if you don't got them.
Yeah,
okay,
so
go on.
That's just what physics says, right? And this is what's even funnier, right? Newtonian mechanics is long outdated, right? Because with Michelson-Morley, you have very serious problems. For example, like, right, you have this assumed absolute fixed space. You have many problems, right? That no object will change direction unless an external force acts upon it. Well, then when you apply that to the orbital claim, you would absolutely detect the fringe shifts directly relevant or relative to the orbital mechanics claim.
And why is that so? Explain.
Buddy, shut up and listen more. So you can't actually even invoke Newtonian mechanics since Michelson-Morley, okay? Because we didn't detect the orbit. You guys don't understand your own belief. Now, when you apply that, even Newtonian mechanics has like the 43 arc second per century discrepancy with the Mercury-Perihelion shift. You guys can say, oh, well, it works perfect except for Mercury. That's not how it works. Laws of physics work everywhere. So if you're making a proportionate mass claim, it's going to be accurate wherever there is mass. It's provably not the case. Einsteinian and Newtonian mechanics doesn't work on the solar system scale, on the local scale. And Newtonian doesn't work to explain Michelson-Morley, nor does it work on the quantum scale. The fact you guys still bring up Newtonian mechanics is hilarious, and I just dunked on it, explaining that there's no time variable. Newton himself said that it would require instantaneous action at a distance, and you would have to have some medium and mutual contact to even do that. It doesn't even work on a space. So do you understand what I'm saying to you? That you don't have a model. You don't even have, you're not even on first base.
Okay, so chapter 21 of Einstein's paper from 1915 says, Newtonian theory as the first approximation. It explains exactly why
Einstein's paper.
It was my mom's paper. We already established that like a month ago. So it clearly says Newtonian theory as the first approximation. Also, what is your problem with the orbits?
I guess
you travel in a straight line. You understand that, right? They go in a straight line.
Only according to relativity, which invokes a geodesic. Shut up. Which invokes a geodesic path. So when I said Newtonian,
that's why we like Einstein.
Listen carefully. When I said after Michelson-Morley, you can no longer invoke Newton because, of course, Newton says that the object will continue in a straight path unless an external force acts upon it. Einstein specifically said that's not the case, and that the object will continue to go into a straight path, but can appear to be in a curved path from a different reference frame because of a geodesic path as it free falls through the curvature of space-time, to get away from the fact that you would have absolutely detected the fringe shift based on the orbit if Newtonian mechanics was true, not to mention it assumed absolute and fixed space to measure against. Your model.
So far, so good.
Your model.
So that's why
don't ever say the word Newtonian gravity again, because it doesn't work in your religion. So stop taking us back to 1600.
Okay, Professor Witsit. I've been through this, watching your videos.
You see how you being condescending with no answer, Peter? You see that? You call him Professor Witsit because he's schooling you. That's what's happening. So appreciate you showing that respect, my guy. Hey, yo, y'all tweet out the space if y'all want to keep seeing these globe earthers getting packed up. It's Stationary Saturdays, Flat Earth Fridays, episode 79. We Flat Earth and chilling, getting it going. Let's get it.
Well, hold on, Peter. You brought up Jesus and sacred in like the same sentence. I'm just kind of curious. Are you like Christian?
Well, hold on. Look, don't let him obfuscate, Civil. We're going to get to all of his religious contradictions after the fact we get to the science, because then they're going to sit there and say, oh, they didn't want to talk about the science. They want to talk about religion. So let's see if Peter can substantiate his claims with all of the science that he got going on here. Go ahead, Peter.
Yeah, I can. Thank you. Thank you, Crypto Keys. So the reason is that I'm looking at the paper from Einstein in fucking German because I couldn't find the English translation. And chapter 21 clearly says that Newtonian equations agree with Einsteinian theory precisely at the scales that we experience on Earth or in the solar system. So when I say that Newtonian mechanics is still valid, I obviously don't mean, Dr. Witsit, that it is the best explanation we have for gravity, because it is not. But it is a very useful approximation for us to model the movement of celestial bodies in the solar system. Thank you, TM. In the solar system. And this is why Joe B doesn't have to learn fucking Hamiltonians and Riemann spaces to launch his satellites into orbits, because per Einstein himself, chapter 21 in German, Witsit, you have a Dutch last name, so you should be able to read that. It agrees within the boundaries of the solar system with Newtonian equations. So put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Wow, you
I
really
just
got
wanted
that
to
with
say,
something.
you know, Newton in 1666. That was the whole reason I brought that up, because you're talking about religion and Jesus. Yeah, and you're talking about.
Oh
Newton.
my God, 66.
Well,
Everything I
you're the
said
one
is
who's
false.
talking about Jesus. So what's all that about?
Wait up, bro. Wait up. We're not
I can
talking about
explain
Jesus.
Jesus to you after I'm done schooling Witsit.
Except that you didn't, right?
We're waiting for it. Not
this is
happening
what-
yet. Go ahead.
What's so funny, dude? What's so funny is obviously it can't be the same on the solar system scale because they both give specifically different predictions for Mercury's perihelion shift. Secondly, it doesn't
And
work
that's
on
the
the
only thing that matters.
buddy. It doesn't work on the local terrestrial scale. I just explained with specificity why, because they're fundamentally different. One claims that an object will continue in a straight path unless an external force acts upon it. Einsteinian mechanics says that that's not the case. It can go on a straight path and a curved path at the same time simply by changing reference frame as it goes through what's called a geodesic path. This is how they had to explain why you wouldn't detect the linear velocity, which Newtonian mechanics cannot invoke linear velocity, right? Because it's actually curved. That means an external force is acting upon it. That means you would have got the fringe shift based on 30 kilometers per second in Michelson-Morley, which has been replicated hundreds of thousands of times. And if we want to invoke what Einstein said, he said, if Dave Miller's replications of Michelson-Morley are in fact correct, my entire theory of relativity will collapse like a house of cards because experiment reigns supreme. And he said this multiple times over the course of 5 or 6 years. So stop bringing up Newtonian mechanics. I debunked it on the terrestrial scale, the solar system scale, the cosmic scale, and the quantum scale. So we're going to go back to no longer ever saying that again because it's been debunked within your own paradigm.
I agree. That's why we only invoke Newtonian equations as the first approximation. Since 1915, 100 years and counting.
We're not going to bring it up anymore because it's not even considered viable within your paradigm for like the 50th
As the
time.
first approximation, it very much is.
And what's so funny is, of course, I can show you.
Do you understand the term first approximation? Do you?
I can show you many different mathematical alternatives, right?
Do you or do you not?
Peter, you're not listening. Listen to Witsit.
I'm not listening because I'm asking a question before he serves me another serving of word salad.
Name one thing I've said that's word salad.
Do you, when you say that Newtonian mechanics should never be mentioned, I agreed with you, and I asked you a question. Do you agree that Newtonian equations could be used as the first approximation?
He said, highlight what he said that was word salad. You said that you agreed
then I
with
said,
then you agreed with what he, then you agreed with what he said, and then asked him a question. So explain what he said that was word salad, Peter. Do you know what word salad is? Explain what he said that was word salad. That's very simple.
Word salad is a delicious salad composed of words that includes facts that are not relevant to the conversation.
That's
I
not
asked you,
what word
Witsit,
salad is.
do you
That's not what word
to
salad
me,
is.
that's what it means. Every
No, it
time
doesn't
you
matter
serve
what
me
it
word
means.
salad.
Whoa. To me, that's what it means. Wait a minute. Wait. Listen, you want me to cue up the definition of word salad? Matter of fact, I'm gonna let you handle it, bro. Go ahead. Let this man know, since he's making up that this is who you guys are appealing to. This is the science. A guy that's making up his own definitions in fallacious manners to substantiate his arguments. This is your guy? Witsit, get this man, bro. Get him out of here.
Yeah. Word salad is basically putting a bunch of words together that are incoherent and don't even logically make sense. It's an incomprehensible, incoherent stringing together of words typically associated with schizophrenia. Okay,
You
so
nailed it.
word salad would be something like, yesterday, 7 chicken blue, why? Okay, word salad is literally incoherent.
Let me make sure I got it. Or something like quantum mechanics refutes Newtonian mechanics, gravity.
Those are facts.
That is very specifically coherent, right?
No, it's not. To anyone who knows physics, it's not.
Yo, you
But
haven't
to a random
substantiated none of
audience,
your
it is.
claims. You haven't substantiated nothing
That
yet.
might fly with random people on YouTube, but not
Yeah.
with
How
people
about
who
You guys are
have studied
clutch.
physics.
Hold on, y'all. I don't want to drop y'all off the stage. Let's let Witsit do what he do right here, because Peter is scrambling right now, if y'all don't notice. So don't give him no out. Don't have him redirect his focus from the pressure to address anything that y'all got to say. I know it's hard, bro. I know it's hard because we know how this guy is. But let this happen, because he deserves what's about to happen. Let this go. Let it do what it do, y'all.
Let it happen.
Yeah. Like, you guys always just throw out the accusation of word salad to try to like avoid the fact that you can never rebut what I actually say whenever it has substantive specificity, and it's all good. You don't even know what it is. You know, it's so
Okay,
funny.
what would you like me to
Hey,
rebut?
It doesn't. Okay, great. So when you said that it works on the terrestrial scale, meaning the local Earth scale, I explained specifically why it doesn't, right? Which is Michelson-Morley's experiment. You have to then take those results and throw out Newtonian mechanics because, again, for the third time, Newtonian mechanics says that an object will continue in a straight path unless an external force acts upon it. If that were true, you would have detected the fringe shift based on the assumed 30 kilometer per second orbit from the sun, because it's going in a rotational orbit. Therefore, there would have to be an external force acting upon the Earth to cause it to go in a circular orbit. That means you would have detected the fringe shift with the perpendicular light beams in the interferometer. Therefore,
Sounds good.
You cannot invoke Newtonian mechanics even on the Earth within your belief system.
Okay, so how did Newton explain the orbits of the planets?
No. Acknowledge that you can't use Newtonian mechanics.
No, I'm trying to learn before I acknowledge. So you have to get me there. So how did Newton, if he says nothing can change direction without the force acting upon it, how did he, in his writings, explain the circular orbits of the planets, or elliptical?
You notice how you had to like immediately avoid and obfuscate and start asking me questions again? And what's
No,
funny?
because I'm learning here from you. So I'm accused of being an asshole who already knows. So I'm holding myself to a higher standard. Tell me, how did Newton explain the orbits of the celestial bodies?
He didn't explain the orbits. So he actually specifically said, I can't even come up with a coherent way to explain the actual mechanism at all. He simply created a Yeah, I know everything I've said is true. We can skip the commentary.
So he introduced the concept of a force acting on a body, and
he said, I can't even explain it. In fact, it doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever because
its origin.
Because it would require...
described it. He described how it behaved, right? F equals ma, F equals
yay.
G times M1 times M2 divided by
Yeah,
R
which I
squared.
specifically pointed out means that you're invoking instantaneous action at a distance.
Yes, he did, and he was wrong. We know today he was wrong about that part. Yes.
If he's wrong about that part, then you either have to change his equation or throw out
Yes,
his
we
mechanics.
did. Einstein did. Yes.
Okay, so then you can't bring it up anymore, nor can you claim that it's
Only as
accurate.
the first approximation. Yes.
Let me run his little phrase through reality.
Only as
so
the first approximation.
everyone knows
Chapter
what he's saying.
21 from
What-
Einstein.
When he says first approximation, what he's saying is if we use a really dumbed down, overly simplified application, then it still
No,
works.
he means
literally
slow
what it means.
speeds, low masses, well-distributed mass, so it doesn't create fucking singularities like black holes. That's what he means in chapter 21. That's what he means by terrestrial conditions, slow speeds, low mass, evenly distributed mass.
I've
So
already
he says,
refuted that though. It
well
doesn't.
behaved. Oh, you refuted it, yeah?
Yeah, because it
In
doesn't
your
happen
paper,
on
what's the DOI for the paper in which you refuted it?
I already explained that there's a terrestrial.
Give me the DOI number for the paper in which you refute
You're spiraling.
Einstein's chapter 21.
You're spiraling. In fact, your claims are so stupid.
I'm spiraling. I'm asking, give me the reference to the paper in
Yeah.
which you refuted it.
Yeah, and I'm saying that your claims are so stupid. I would never have to write a paper to refute it.
I'm quoting
casually-
fucking Einstein. That's not my claims. I wouldn't even dare to claim to have a claim.
Einstein
How about
also
that?
said
What?
Einstein said he doesn't even understand his own theory. It's paradoxical. It doesn't even make sense.
Oh,
to
yeah,
him.
because his wife wrote it, or per TM, it was my mom who wrote it. We've been through this. Give me your
No, that'll be on
refutation of
dialogue,
Einstein's theory.
The refutation.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, no problem. So we'll just start on the face. You can't attribute physical properties to conceptual abstractions. Space and time cannot.
Do you have it
be.
in written form?
Why would I need to? I just refuted it right then.
So I can read it and think about
Hey
it.
Peter,
as opposed to
just listen
to
up.
your
I know you
word
don't want
salad?
this sauce, Peter. I know you
Okay,
don't want this,
go.
and I know you don't have no
give me the
answers.
verbal.
Hey Peter, I know you don't got no answers. I know this is tough for you, and I know you're trying to keep the whatever type of framework that you got circling around you and stuff like that. But you got to acknowledge what's being said here, my God. This is Spaces. This is Twitter Spaces. You asking for an answer, he giving it to you. Let him give you the answer that you don't have, the answer that you can't give to nobody else in your little old space over there. He gonna give it to you. Just let him cook. Don't worry. Turning up the oven right now.
You can't attribute physical properties to conceptual abstractions. That's called a reification fallacy, which is defined as misplaced concreteness to an abstract or a concept. Of course, space being the concept, the idea of privation, emptiness, the absence of time being simply a mathematical concept, a quantification or description of change in motion. You cannot attribute physical properties to either one of those. Just like Tesla said, relativity cannot be true for the simple fact that space cannot curve. So that's a reification fallacy on its face. It's inadmissible.
Can I say something?
Was
real
that
quick?
it? Was
Yeah,
that it?
can I
No,
say
no, that's just the first one. I mean, I could debunk relativity
Oh,
like
keep going, brother.
fucking-
Hey,
Keep
can I-
going.
can I
That
say something real
wasn't
quick?
enough.
Yo, can you hear me? Hello.
yeah,
Test.
yeah.
What's up with it? How you doing? Peter doesn't. You don't need it written down, Peter, because remember you have an app that's turning all this audio into text. Or did you forget we saw that? Yeah,
You
Peter.
lost
Just
me
read it.
there,
Just
no
read it
one
later.
special.
Just read whatever he said later.
From the recording of this space, that's not happening?
No, you were doing it in real time. Remember?
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do. It was on the politics.
No, I
server.
don't.
Yeah, you were sharing your
Yeah,
screen.
I know you, buddy. Don't
you were
fuck
sharing
with
your
my brain now.
screen, and it showed my words in real time being turned into text.
Okay,
We talked
awesome.
about
Good
it.
for
and now
you.
you're gonna, we talked about it.
Okay, we talked about it. Got it.
Yeah.
Witsit.
Yeah, you're exposed.
Witsit.
You're a loser.
Witsit. Yeah, yeah.
That's
I
my
am.
boy Indio.
That's
What's up,
established. Yeah, Indio, the other fucking professor of physics. Witsit, keep going
Yeah.
on because
you're
it
such a
didn't do
shit
All
for
the
me. I
guys
only
that you
have
can't,
questions.
hey, every single guy you can't refute is up here, Peter. You right? I'm glad you know Indio. I'm glad you know Witsit. Hey, Alan's up here too. We got TM up here. I'm up here. Proud's up here. We all right here. And we haven't heard a single substantiated claim from you yet. Yet you are trying to teach everybody about globe Earth. You should tap into your own helpline, my guy. Get over your addiction to balls. Seems like you an addict, except to when you come in contact with facts. Switch your substance abuse, my guy. Come to the truther side since you're getting packed up like this. Continue.
Yeah, and like
Okay,
obviously-
fair enough.
No, can
India
you
was the guy.
respond? Can you respond to what I said? No.
I'm not allowed. Am I allowed to respond to you?
No. Responding isn't saying, "Do you got something else? Let's hear it." Respond specifically
Yes.
to the refutation of the conceptual
Yes.
abstractions not having physical properties.
Okay, let's talk about that, because this is the only thing that I caught from your monologue, was that first part. Would you indulge me, please? And I'm not trying to change the subject. I promise you we will come back to gravity. But could you explain to me what electromagnetism is? And I'm only looking to explore the statement that you just made yourself, because I want to make sure that my understanding of what science is at least similar to yours, so we can continue. So can you repeat for the audience the thing you just said, because I'm not able to repeat it. And then my question is, what is electromagnetism?
You good at repeating stuff. You've been repeating science this whole time, except when it comes to when the fact is refuted, then you can't
Hey,
repeat it. That's
do you
interesting.
have to
That's tough.
help your buddy here,
That's
Crypto
tough. No,
Keys, or can he handle it?
I'm just highlighting for everybody in the audience to see
Yeah.
who we're dealing with right now. So that's
the thing
interesting.
yeah, got it, Crypto Keys. Thank you. So Witsit, the thing you
You're
said about
absolutely welcome, Peter.
abstractions, the thing you said about abstractions, can you repeat that the way you said it?
Yeah. Let me save you some time. You're trying to act like somehow it's the same as invoking electromagnetism. It's not.
I'm
And this
trying
is-
to learn
buddy,
what you
stop.
meant by
It's
your
really hard to
statement.
learn when you just spew nonsense out of your mouth in the middle.
Then
of
address
nonsense.
my question.
Well, then shut up. So this is going to all go over your head, okay? But I said the easiest way to actually refute relativity is on its face. It's intellectually inadmissible because it attributes physical properties to conceptual abstractions, one of which is a privation, which would be space. They cannot have physical properties, therefore it's inadmissible on its face. He actually took 4D space geometry from Henri Poincaré, who summed up this point himself in debunking it himself within a year of publication. He said, "It is not the universe which imposes space and time on us, but it is rather us, we, who impose space and time on it due to convenience. They're merely concepts." Okay, so that's the problem. You're bringing up electromagnetism. I will define it the way I understand it, not throwing out the ether and, standing on the shoulders of electrical field theory giants, which you won't understand any of this, but electromagnetism is really just a conjugate geometric expression of pressure mediation coming from the primary substrate, which would be the background medium. You have the dielectric and you have the magnetic. The magnetic, again, it's a conjugate geometric expression. The magnetic would be the spatial extension. So it would be centrifugal divergent spatial extension. And then you would have the conjugate or the inverse of that manifestation, which would be centripetal convergence. And it would not be spatial. Okay, so that is what it actually is pressure mediation. And Tesla said that it's actually the ether thrown into motion, electricity and magnetism. And then the two being together is just, of course, the relationship between the magnetism and an electric field. Again, it's a conjugate geometric expression of the two. The reason that isn't a reification fallacy is because it's invoking an actual primary substrate, a substantive background medium, not the concept of emptiness or nothingness, right? So they're specifically different, which is why Einstein himself throughout the ether then came back and said, "Oh, never mind, I messed up when I asserted the non-existence of the ether. Turns out that we need one." For I see that when we say there's an ether, we say nothing more than space is endowed with physical properties, and that ether is by no means finished, but its story is rather continued by relativity. It's because he needed physical properties. The problem is he tried to attribute them to space as opposed to a real substantive background medium. They are distinctly different, which is actually my entire point.
Thank you, Witsit. And I have known for a while now that I wouldn't be able to know for sure who you were until I spoke to you directly. And now I know who you are.
Bro, you didn't say anything. Nobody gives a damn about what you think or know
What
about
he
this
just
man.
said
Just talk
was
about
a
the science.
complete random mix of words that make no sense.
We
Which
all
part? Hey,
covered that.
which
Who
part?
has ever
Wait, which part?
read a
Which part?
physics book?
Which part
All
was
of it.
random?
All
Which
of
part?
it.
Name one.
The
Repeat it.
conjugate, craft duet, application
Do you know what
of
conjugate
shoulda
means? Do you know what
Dude,
conjugate means?
You're nuts. You're
Do
completely
you know
nuts.
what Yeah. So if you don't understand words, that doesn't make it word salad. I even defined it for you. What
How
a
many physicists would agree with your statement?
plenty. I got plenty of physicist papers that agree with me.
Name 3.
Okay. Let me name a whole list of them right here. So we have Dayton Miller. We have, of course, Michelson, Albert Michelson, Edward Morley. We have Oliver Heaviside, Charles Protus Steinmetz, of course, Nikola Tesla. We got Dirac. We got Herbert. We got Yuri Galev. We have James Demio. We have Royong Wang. We have my boy, PhD physicist Robert Bennett, who completely agrees with me on all of that, by the way. PhD physicist.
Oh, I see.
He actually wrote his thesis on the motion of rigid bodies in relativity. Agrees with that. We've done shows with him.
Does he recognize relativity as a valid theory or not?
No. Because he knows that it's been specifically refuted with precise interferometric measurements showing the
interferometry.
He don't even know the word. This is the guy that's gonna teach you about the globe Earth.
He
don't even know the words or the definitions. This is your leader. This is the guy. Y'all gotta be kidding me, bro. He literally going in spaces talking about, oh, it'll be so easy to dunk on the flat earthers. Oh, let's just create a space and let's try to set them up and make a fictitious meme and have all of them share it because it's just too easy to dunk on them. And you haven't even gotten the ball one time. Witsit been pulling up from half court on your ass since the time he came in here. You even came off the bench. Your man's tagged you in and you still don't have nothing for him. This is one guy. I didn't even say nothing. Alan didn't say nothing. Indio didn't say nothing. This is just one guy taking down all of you. How can you speak with such arrogance, bro? Especially after we treated you with such grace, have you co-host Flat Earth Fridays, and you have nothing, and you know.
What is it with you and
Robot
Grace
Polisher is in here. You know what's finna happen. You know what's finna happen, yo. Let me just chill out. This is crazy. He's Googling interferometric. Do y'all hear this?
Yeah, yo, I kind of want to step away for a second. I'm gonna listen, but I want to go fix a drink. I mean, this guy doesn't. This guy, yeah, you can say that, but it's obvious you haven't been able to even understand what I'm saying, bro. You haven't even been able to understand what I'm saying.
No, I couldn't. That is true.
Yeah. Yes, we know that. We know that. You don't understand anything.
I can suggest you a reading list, though. Would you like that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but I have a reading list already. It's called the Feynman Lectures on Physics. You know what?
That's crazy. Feynman, you know what Feynman says? Feynman says that your particle physics can't even explain magnetism. It has to invoke virtual particles. Of course, the virtual photon.
Yeah, you know what?
Carefully, I'm in the middle of speaking, buddy. Listen carefully. You know what he says? Your paradigm requires virtual photons to explain magnetism, which you just tried to ask me to define, right? And this is what Feynman says about your little virtual photons. He says, that their existence is questionable at best. They're not the input or output of any experiment ever. It's merely a concept we had to create to try to make our equations work. So Feynman isn't someone I would bring up. I got plenty of Feynman quotes that would just dunk all over you. So also go Google Feynman magnetism and watch him try to define it as he just freaks out and squirms in his chair for 20 minutes. So anyway, bro, well, this is what's funny, right? Your tactics aren't working. I suggest that you try to actually inform yourself on some of these things prior to running around trying to use these little like gamma male tactics. It's super exhausting and lame. And everyone here knows that when you start to get dunked on, your tactic is just to claim that I don't make sense, as if you can gaslight me and everyone in the room that we're
because you don't.
You don't even know the words. How can you tell somebody they don't make sense and the words that they're giving you, you're Googling in real time in front of 140 people? You're Googling the words he's giving to you saying you don't make sense because I can't define them. Peter, do you hear yourself? Bro, I know you've never met or came in contact with no forces from like level heads. I know, and you try to troll us, but you are embarrassed. embarrassing yourself, my guy. I had way higher expectations from someone so condescending on the timeline, popping so much shit. How dare you associate yourself from the 90s Bulls? How dare you? Bro, you're not even the current Wizards.
You weren't
You're
even
not
born
even
yet,
the
were
current
you?
Pistons. How dare you call yourself the 90 the Bulls, bro? You are coming off the bench and you are shooting air balls, and that is your preferred shape. I
I'm Steve
cannot
Kerr.
believe it. Do
How
y'all
about that?
hear this? Do y'all see what's happening right here in Flat Earth Fridays, episode 79, bro? We just getting started. Just
Not
getting started.
Not even
We've
deeply.
only been doing this for not even, what, a year and some change, bruh? And the guys that's sitting over here talking about they going to war with us is Googling the words we're using towards them. How crazy. What type of a matrix are we in, y'all? And we don't sit there and antagonize nobody. We don't insult nobody. I didn't sit there and call Peter any names or sit there and wage war on the shill heads and all that weird ass shit. What I did was invite him to Flat Earth Fridays and make him a co-host over here. That's what we did. And even when he was a co-host, Brenda came up in here and said, why are you shutting down the Globe Earthers from having conversations trying to refute the Flat Earthers? It was you silencing the Globe Earthers. And say I'm lying, my guy. Now that you got a chance to talk to science and you can't obfuscate and all your little tactics that you're trying to use to obfuscate away from answering the questions isn't working, all you have is insults and ad homs and no substantiation of any claims. And we didn't even get to nobody else in here yet. This is just Witsit. Just a random guy who didn't finish college. And you have nothing but a master's degree that didn't serve you. You played yourself. You started war with the wrong guys, and you didn't even have to do it. What you could have done was build with us, my guy. You could have took whatever you learned and merged it with whatever we learned so we could figure out a common ground. But what you decided to do was take a toxic route and embarrass yourself, my guy. And that's too bad because now you are literally dying in real time. You're talking about nailed it. What he did was nail your coffin. All
self-inflicted. 15 and he doesn't say my guy as often as you do.
All self-inflicted. Didn't even have to go like that. Ain't that a mother?
My guy.
I know we cooler than you. That's our lingo. Go ahead, bro. Run with it. Imitation is flattery. That's why you're trying to do what you're doing over there in that other little ass space. Because you know how we get down. And yes, you are literally zero impact. This is funny as hell. I've never seen nothing like this before. If y'all not entertained, bro, I don't know what else is going to do it for y'all. Tweet out the space. Let everybody know what's going on over here. Tell us what you think about it. Let us know what you think about Witsit. Tell us what you think about Allen. Tell us what you think about Joe B. Tell us what you think about 58. And then tell us what you think about Peter Globinski, who hasn't brought a single refutation with his argument and all his condescension. I know you want to be like me, bro. I know. We too cool over here, and we know more than you. It's tough.
I'm more like you than you know.
It's tough. I know, bro. It's no, you ain't nothing like me, my guy. We ain't cut from the same cloth at all.
In some ways, we are.
Hell no. You can't be me, bro.
I wouldn't beat you. I'm a Christian.
Which refutes your whole global position because literally the Bible doesn't adopt the globe. So another contradiction. How many times are you going to run into that flat wall?
As many times as it takes to make your space entertaining, brother.
I know.
How high are you?
How drunk are you?
But you're high on some good shit tonight.
How drunk are you, Peter? Don't obfuscate the fact that you don't have no sign. I know, drunk as hell. That's why you can't. That's why you Googling words right now. That's probably why. Trying to get yourself through the pain and suffering that you're dealing with right now, with not having any facts on your side.
Tonight,
that's tough.
Peter, how can you be a Christian and talk about Newton in 1666?
Newton
I mean,
was
and there's
Christian.
like 5 other 666s, but
Yeah.
no, we're afraid of numbers. Like, why are you even bringing shit up then?
Isaac Newton
You're not
was a
even
Christian
serious.
man.
You're not even a serious Christian, so don't bring it up.
Of course I am. Why wouldn't I?
Because you wouldn't you don't bring any of this stuff up.
You literally
Why
deny
not?
the earth that you live
Because
on.
some
Peter.
random dude with like a fake name tells me?
No, you wouldn't have so much arrogance if you were a true Christian or believer in God. You wouldn't be so arrogant and quick to fucking demonize other people for not believing in the same thing you believe in.
I'm not demonizing them for not believing. There
You
are
are.
many
You could.
things.
Peter. Peter, I called you out from day one.
You go to
Right from day one, from the
They
very
spew
beginning.
bullshit.
I remember everybody
know
thought
it's
you was
bullshit.
a nice guy. They thought you was a nice guy, but really you was a snake. You was pretending to be nice and then using all your condescending tones and whatnot and trying to talk down to people.
He
And
called it.
people and sacred and
You
sacred
called
still
it. You
gave you
did call
blind.
it, Nate. You called it.
Sacred still he still gave you blind. He still respected you as he always does to all of you. And I try to tell him sometimes he shouldn't do that. And I think that's why now he's a bit different with you because he gave you guys so much respect for such a long time. And I think
I don't give
he
a
was
shit. I was
genuinely
talking to
trying.
Witsit.
I know you don't. He was genuinely trying to be respectful with you guys, but you guys were just being snakes all along. And Sacred's been bit too many times now. That's why he don't have that same level of respect for
Oh,
you guys
20
anymore.
minutes ago, there
That
was
level
an
of
interesting
peace.
point that Witsit brought up, which was
And you
that
didn't respond to nothing. You didn't respond to nothing that
physical
Witsit brought up. All you did was change the
properties.
subject. All you did was change the subject while
So I want
Witsit
to
was
go
talking.
back to the subject. Thank
You
you
didn't
for
respond to
correcting
nothing
me.
he said, and
Thank
then
you.
you accused him of
So-
saying word salad. You accused him of being an idiot and just spewing
Dude,
out
he
nonsense,
literally
but you
had
didn't
to
actually
reduce
point
the
out.
conversation down to the whether or not he understood the definition of
So,
approximation. That's how low this fucker lowers the conversation. Get him
yes,
the fuck out of here. Get him out.
Yeah,
man.
he only got a few more minutes, y'all. I'm not gonna put y'all through this much pain. I just wanted
I'll just say
Peter
one
to
last
get
thing.
fair
slapped
enough.
around.
Fair enough.
I just wanted to
Let's
get
just say one
smacked
last thing real
around a
quick.
little bit
Real quick.
and humble himself. But go ahead, Nate.
Keep
Literally,
smacking,
Just
my
real
guy.
quick.
one more thing. I'm a plasma
Phantom
physicist.
posted
I
the
create this
video.
stuff,
Phantom
and you
posted the
literally
video.
don't
Just
know
one
what this
sec.
guy's talking about. He knows exactly what he's talking about. He talked about phase conjugate mirroring. I know exactly what that is. You know why? Because it's called exactly what he mentioned. Okay, 369 Tesla. Okay, he brought up Heaviside. He brought up so many people. This is literally bombs that you should be listening to. You need to listen to this Witsit man. Okay, listen to him. He knows what the fuck he is talking about.
Do you think this
That's
is the
Peter's
first
problem.
time I've listened
Peter's
to
not
Witsit?
here to listen. Peter's not here to listen. That he doesn't listen. That's why when Witsit was talking before, he only could respond to the first thing because he only had that first 2 words and then he blanked out after that. That's exactly what he said. And you know, people like this Peter guy, like he doesn't really care to have any sort of genuine conversation and discourse with us. He's just here to mock us or do the "I got you." You're wrong.
Okay.
And that's all he's here
Hey,
for. He's here to
Witsit, how
waste our
about you tell
time,
me
distract
what
us
you meant
from
by
civil
we're not able to
conversation.
assign physical properties to
Peter,
abstract
do you not hear me talking?
concepts?
Can you not talk over while I'm talking, Peter? Can
But
you
you're
not talk
boring.
over when I'm talking?
You're boring.
Yeah, so I'm gonna finish on this, right?
Yeah, look in a
So
mirror, Peter.
Phantom posted the video of what Mike recorded of what these guys do and how they truly believe and what this is from. Like, this is just a game, it's all a joke, and that's why you shouldn't even give them any sort of time of day whatsoever.
Oh, don't worry. There's a purpose why they up here. Trust me, there's a purpose.
Yeah, I mean, this dude's got a master's.
Well,
in
keep him on a leash
selling,
then.
right?
Make sure you keep him on a leash then. Don't allow him to run the show. If you're gonna fucking bring him up here for a purpose, control the show. Keep him on a leash and make sure he gets roasted and doesn't have any sort of control or fucking dictation of how the conversation goes. That's how you control these people.
Well, I agree with
No
the
dictation,
I
my
agree
guy.
with the approach of like letting them, you know, represent their side and show how incredibly fallacious and ignorant it is, even with credentials, right? Like if someone's got some letters behind their name, they're our best friends. I'm gonna answer your question real quick because I'm about to step away and make my drink. But like the answer to your question is it's very simple. I'll give you a simple concept, right? So I said you cannot attribute physical properties to conceptual abstractions, concepts, right? Here's a simple analogy for you. You cannot bend love. Love is a concept. You cannot warp and curve freedom because they're concepts. They can't have physical properties of bending. It's just abstract. Okay, very simple.
I like those examples. Can I have a question?
Yeah.
What's an electron? Witsit?
Oh my gosh, dude! The terminal end of one unit line of dielectric induction.
Boom. Boom.
The what?
Boom. 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 That's all I gotta say. Yep.
Yeah, the terminal end of one unit line of dielectric induction, which is what J.J. Thomson said it was before he eventually changed his definition to fit within particle physics, and then magically will receive his Nobel Prize right after that. It's definitely not a charge-carrying particle of matter that is a point particle and has no size or shape. Yeah, a particle of matter that has no size or shape, and we can never find it. And now it's just a density cloud or a probability distribution of a cloud that we can never actually isolate. That's all pseudoscientific nonsense, right? But yeah, it's a
So
terminal end of
quantum
one unit.
mechanics.
Don't forget, it is
quantum- no, I have a question.
99.99999% empty space as well. You know what I'm
I
saying?
have
Yeah,
a
the
question.
atom. Wait up.
So-
The atom is supposedly 99.999999% empty space, and then the electron is allegedly roughly 100 million times smaller than that. And again, they claim it's a charge-carrying particle of matter that has no size or shape and can never be actually isolated or found. And it's just a cloud distribution of probability. So that's all pseudoscience. And I'm going to answer it one more time, and
Okay.
I'm actually going to step away. So just don't say something back to me because I have to step away for a second. But again, it is the terminal end of one unit line of dielectric induction. Very simply put, it's just a gap in the dielectric field. So the area isolated.
And how is that
right, is real.
physical? How's that physical?
Okay,
And
physical
not
is
abstract.
physical isn't synonymous with material, right?
Oh,
So-
what is it then?
You didn't know that, yeah. So do you not
No.
agree?
Well, now he doesn't know Witsit. Come on, man. You didn't learn that yet, bro?
Yeah,
You're going to keep on answering questions. He's not going to let you go. You know how much notes on his notepad right now? He's scribbling, scratching, phoning home for another lifeline.
yeah,
Anyway,
touche.
go ahead,
And
bro.
I'll get trapped. I'll say this. I'll answer the one.
Last
that-
time, yeah, go make your drink, bro. I
Yeah,
know.
because I'll get trapped for sure. Yeah. So like obviously something can be physical and not material, right? Like energy. If you take a magnet, you can feel the force of magnetism physically, right? But it isn't material. So that just means an interaction within the material world or physical world, right? Even energy can be quote unquote physical. The electron is a real phenomena. The way that they define it is not, right? And it is simply an etheric modality. It's a terminal end of a unit line of dielectric induction. It's a gap in the dielectric field. It is not what they claim it is. It's already been debunked. All right, I'm actually stepping away. If you want to pretend you stumped me or whatever, I mean, whatever.
I would love to. I've had 2 drinks already. It didn't take me a while to get them, so I'm not sure what you're cooking there. But so if a field is physical, then how come mass or gravity cannot be physical?
We know we got a lot of questions, Peter. Thank you for playing. I'm going to drop you down for a little bit, and you can request back up in a little while. I don't think anybody wants to hear